Welcome to Amazon Ads Raw Daily with your host, Alex.
Hello and welcome. Good morning, everyone. Today we talk about the Customer Loyalty Analytics Dashboard. I think I did a video in the past on that already, but Amazon has brought out a guide how to use the Customer Loyalty Analytics Dashboard that is now available for everyone. So once you go into Brand Analytics and your Customer Loyalty Analytics Dashboard, there is a link that will lead you to this 8-page strong guide. And I would like to discuss this with you a little bit, talk about the Customer Loyalty Analytics Dashboard and what you can do with the data and where I see some problems or where I personally have some concerns. So let's deep dive into Customer Loyalty Analytics Dashboard. The purpose of this is to show a Amazon business, to show an Amazon seller the different customer segments and how they are benefiting your sales, your profits, and eventually target certain promotions or even advertisement towards certain segments of high value customers. The Customer Loyalty Analytics Dashboard lives in Brand Analytics. Great place, and I think it's also a great start. You can see how many new to brand customers you had. You can see how many total customers you had. You can see how these customer segments, like a high value segment or an at risk segment, is changing over time from the size of the audiences, but also towards the average order value or even a customer lifetime value. That is obviously the main point that they put out here: increase customer lifetime value through data-driven insights. So let's talk a little bit about what we can find in here. So Amazon introduces us to the tool with a little bit of why this is important. Obviously, there's more sales coming from those high segments, and so on, so forth. But let's talk about the actual nuts and bolts. So you can build some strategies, not all strategies. There's some things you can do with it. Optimize your timing. Well, I'll talk about this very specifically. Optimize marketing and ad spend. This is also something which is currently not available. It might be available in the future, and Amazon has introduced this already this week. They announced it at Unbox a few weeks ago that AMC audiences are now part of the bidding for sponsored products and sponsored brands as a bid adjustment. Yesterday, on the 12th of November, they released this into the ad console. So people spotted that inside the campaigns, you can see bid adjustments where they usually had placement adjustments. It's now bid adjustments, and this is divided into placements and audiences. And now with these audiences, you can finally start optimizing marketing ad spend towards audiences, at least from a high level perspective. We'll go into this a little bit later. Reduce customer acquisition costs. Well, let's see about that. Let's start at how the view, the dashboard looks. So this is the view everyone has. You have your brand drop down. If you have multiple brands, you can choose your brand. Then you have a reporting range. You can choose between weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. And then depending on what you've chosen here, you select the year, the month, eventually the week, or the year and the quarter, or just the year. Right, you hit apply, and then these boxes, which gives you the 5 predefined segments, or basically 4 segments plus the total of all customers as a segment. And it gives you the count of those people, so the audience count, and percent of change versus prior period. So if you've selected monthly, then this is versus March. If you selected year, then this is year over year. This is great, and this is like something okay to me. Here's the definitions of these different audiences. I will not talk about them too much. These are the audiences you will also have in your brand tailored promotions. That's the same kind of audiences you can choose there. You can also choose at-risk customers. You can choose promising customers or top-tier customers with your brand tailored promotions. And this is where Amazon makes some smart decisions, because they're integrating the data here and in this other promotion thing as well. So it's a seamless kind of integration. So you can look at some of your audience's segments in this report, and then you can say, hey, for my top tier customers, I want to create a promotion and I want to tailor a promotion towards them. And that is a great thing to do, because it allows you to be more specific and more granular towards the audiences that matters the most for you. However, brand tailored promotions is yet still also in development, and it's not fully developed in my opinion, because as of now you can create these promotions, but the audiences are not getting notified as of yet. So if I'm a top tier customer to your brand and I'm getting a promotion because you set up one promotion for me with an additional 10% discount, I'm not getting a notification. I'm only seeing it when I'm on your product detail page for the product where you've set up the promotion. And so the seller needs to create retargeting campaigns and kind of get this customer back to the listing so he sees the promotion. And hopefully in the future, Amazon will allow to more individual notifications of those things. They used to have the email marketing tool, which they shut down, and this was my kind of guess that this would be the connection. You would look at your data here, then you say, I need to do something with my top tier customers. I create a promotion where they get an additional 10%, and now I send out an email to all of these customers and tell them, hey, your product is discounted at 10%, please come back and buy it. This is a closed loop. Currently, it's a little bit unclosed to me. But let's move forward. So in the dashboard, you will see this on the top left section and then this on the top right section, or this is probably also on the left section below kind of these numbers. And this is on the right section where you'll have a summary of a few metrics. You'll see your new customers, new to brand customers. You see the new to brand orders, the new to brand sales. So this is all new to brand, these upper three things. You'll see potential customers. This is like Amazon tells you, hey, there's 1,000 more customers that you could potentially reach. And you also see cart abandoners, which, I mean, 1.1 million at 373 new customers and 33. So I'm not sure where they took this screenshot, but they don't make sense to me. Yeah, to be quite frankly. Why do I have 1 million cart abandoners on 33,000 total customers? How did I make 1 million people add something to my cart and not buy it? Because only 400 people bought something. 400 new people bought something. And then you see repeat. Repeat is and now here it gets tricky. And they made the definition here, and this is where I have my concerns with this whole customer loyalty analytics dashboard because of how they define it. A repeat customer is a customer that has ordered from my brand a product. So it doesn't matter if you ordered ASIN 1 and then ASIN 2, this would be a repeat. ASIN 1 and ASIN 1 again would be a repeat. Oh, sorry for these, like, I need to shut this down. This is like Apple something with the camera. I don't know where I can turn it off. Can I turn this off somewhere? No, don't find it. Right. Total number of customers who have ordered from a brand more than once in the given time period. In the given time period. That is very important. That is highly important here, because that means a repeat customer is only a repeat customer if you ordered in April twice. If the customer ordered in March and then in April, he's not a repeat customer. He's also not a new to brand customer with the second order. He would be just a normal customer. He's not counted as a repeat if I'm looking at the... let's put it like that. The example is, I'm discovering a new brand. I buy my very first time in March. Then I buy my very second time in April. In March, I am a new to brand customer. So I would be here. In April, I'm not here anymore because I'm not a new customer anymore, but I'm also not a repeat customer. But that depends on the time frame. If I select monthly, I'm not a repeat customer for April, also not for March. If I select quarterly, because March and April are different quarters, I'm also not a repeat customer in these quarters. But if I select yearly as a time frame from January to December, I bought twice in this year, and then I would be a repeat customer. So depending on how you select your reporting range, a repeat customer, even though from looking very broadly and generally onto this topic, everyone would say, hey, he bought in March, he bought in April, he is a repeat customer to me. But for the Customer Loyalty Analytics dashboard, you're only a repeat customer if you look at the yearly time range. On the quarterly, you're not, because you bought in March in Q1 and in Q2. It's two different time periods. And because you didn't bought in these two time periods twice, you bought one time in Q1 and one time in Q2, then you're not a repeat customer in the quarterly view, nor in the monthly, nor in the weekly, only in the yearly view. And that makes this kind of data a little bit tricky to use. You have to know this and you have to think about this, because that will potentially change all of these metrics here. It will change the repeat purchase rate. It will change the average repeat purchase interval. Obviously, the repeat purchase interval of 45 days, this is not a monthly view, because in the monthly view, it needs to be lower than 30 days. This doesn't come from here. You can clearly see it. 45 days average repeat purchase interval is not possible because we only look at a month. And within a month, if they purchase twice, it needs to be below 30 days. They need to purchase on day 1 and day 25 or whatever. Then the average is 25 days. It cannot be higher than 30 days because a month only has 30 days, right? Or 31. So these numbers will definitely change if you change this here. They go down to below 7 days, and they go up to whatever, depending on the range. And this makes like looking at this a little bit tricky to me, but let's move on because I think I made a point here. And looking at the time, we need to move on. Card, abandoned audiences, this is great, new audiences, and so on and so forth. And now you can create special promotions, which is sending you the brand tailored promotions tab, which is a cool new. They also reworked this. I made I'm not sure if I made a video of that, but once there, you can select some of these audiences. Again, you can now select specific ASINs you want to put a promotion on, or the full brand, or a group of ASINs, and then run a promotion. Given a time frame, you can run it up to 3 months, up to 90 days. And then in the lower end of the report, you'll have a chart that shows you either by month, if you selected the monthly view, or if you selected the weeks, it will show you by weeks. And it also always shows you like the last 12 time periods, so last 12 weeks, last 12 months. If it's quarters, it doesn't go back 12 quarters as of yet. If it's years, it will only show you 2024, 2023, and 2022. Only these 3 years are available. Then you can select a couple of those metrics from above here to show on the graph, see it over time in a line chart. And this new export feature is pretty cool because it allows you to export all of the data, all of these metrics by month or by week. You can put it in a Google Sheet and create a dashboard out of it. I made another video, which I might link here in the video somewhere, on how to create a new to brand dashboard based on this report, basically. All right, let's go one step further. So on the top selection, you can view the brand view. That's what we looked at, or you can look into segments. Segments are your, let's go back up, are these kind of audience segments, and in the segment view you can look into these a little bit more. So you can select the segment, which is then any of those 4. Again, select the reporting range, and this gives you a customer lifetime value for these customers. They show you how many customers you had in this segment for the given month, how many sales, how many orders, and what is your predicted lifetime value depending on a certain assumption. It's either growing or declining, or I think hibernating. I think it's like three options here you can choose, and depending on what you choose, the customer lifetime value is either higher or lower. So if you think that your top tier customers are going down in the future because you're not putting enough marketing behind it, you're not doing enough discounts, then obviously the lifetime value will be lower or higher. So you can see this is like the prediction here. Last year product sales per customer, $71. So this is the lifetime value of last year for this customer segment. We're expecting it to grow in the next year. So then this will be $97. I would be very cautious with these numbers, to work with these numbers, to be very honest, because of how repeats are measured, because of how a new to brand is measured, because it is not 100% clear how Amazon is defining top tier customers. They say obviously they have a higher AOV and they have this and this, but it's still a little bit of a black box how they actually define it. So there's no real, let's say, everything above AOV $30 is in this. It's kind of a dynamic, algorithmically chosen definition. Who's in top tier and who's not in top tier, and then obviously people go out and in. It gives you some sort of, reference value you can work with. It is refreshed monthly, and it's not guarantee. It is not a guarantee of future sales. Obviously, it's not giving you anything. All right, and then they on the last pages they give you some sort of additional recommendations, what you can do with the data, how you can look at some of the stuff, and then metric definitions, and that's it. A few FAQs, and that's the page. But now let's sum it together and two closing thoughts. So overall, I think having something like that is highly valuable. I disagree with how Amazon is defining some of these metrics, especially the repeat purchase metric. I also disagree how they define new to brand. A new to brand person at Amazon is defined as someone who has not purchased from a brand within the last 12 months. Let's say I purchased in November last year, and then I purchased this year in December. I would be a new to brand customer in December this year for this brand, even though I purchased last year already. But because I didn't purchase within 12 months, I would be new to brand. I'm not sure if I would agree with that. Maybe for a brand that is selling products that you would buy every month, that's a long enough time frame. But let's say you're selling pillows, or you're selling blankets, or you're selling, I don't know, light bulbs or something like that. Maybe I would be still a loyal brand customer that purchases from my brand every time again, but I only need a new light bulb or a new pillow or a new blanket every 3 years. For Amazon, I would be new to brand customer. And obviously this makes sense for Amazon, because a new to brand customer, I would put more marketing behind it, more budget, more money, because a new to brand customer is always more valuable in terms of or receives a higher customer acquisition cost, a higher spend than an existing customer. So that makes me think at least a little bit about all of that. Still, I like that they bring in this kind of idea of customer lifetime value, because I think it's valuable even for brands that are not selling repeat purchase products like consumables. Even there, it makes sense to have some sort of customer lifetime value thinking integrated. I like that they integrated with brand tailored promotions, and now they integrated also with the audiences you can add to your sponsor product and sponsor brand campaigns. So this all makes sense to me, looking at the whole picture. However, I would always encourage you guys to think critically through all of these things yourself, understand how they are defining it, and then think about if you would define it in a similar way, or if you would define it in a different way, and then try to use the data that they provide you, maybe use it as directional insights or inputs, and go from there. And with that, I'll leave you for the day. Have a good day. Thank you very much for listening, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Amazon Ads Raw Daily. And remember to stay curious.